How do you make sense of the current time that you're in terms of, success and failure, and how do you measure progress towards a goal, knowing that, again, you could be moments away from success, even if it doesn't feel that way.
That's an excellent question. And in my gray-haired years, you should expect that I would have an intelligent answer. I think it is a really telling story that my greatest success story, the moniker that I wear, the story people want to ask me about, is indeed a failure story. Now, this really drives to the heart of your question. What is success? How do we measure it? And how, as entrepreneurs, inventors, creators, how do we know that we're doing something that is meaningful? Right? This is why we get up in the morning, not just to fix a billing system,
Right, right.
but to do something meaningful in whatever that context may be. So you can imagine there was nobody during those years walking around saying, hey, you guys have really got it. Gosh, this is the next big thing. Sometimes that happens. And when it does, I guess it makes a pretty good story.
Right.
Most of the time, when you are shepherding a new invention to the world, it is by definition something that people do not recognize and understand.
Yeah.
So there's an adoption curve. And if you're an inventor and your mother gets your idea, I don't know, it's probably not much of an idea.
Fair enough.
Sometimes you create things that find an exit right away or are financially viable. Most of my income has come from billing systems, not from, the really nifty things.
Yeah.
And there is one other point. At this juncture of my gray-haired part of my career, it is an irony that I look back on this, story that people want to hear, this success story. And not only is it a failure story, but it took so many years before that story was really of interest to average people.
Yeah.
This is something that I'm lucky to have lived long enough to see. But you really do have to have your own compass, your own drive. And it's funny to look back because people will ask, weren't you scared to demo to Steve Jobs? No, I was 20. I didn't care. If he didn't like it, he would have to argue with me.